Okay, I think it's working.
Yes.
So I apologize to the universe and to the world, to the Tim and Sara Era fan club, whatever. We got to come up with a name.
No.
Yeah. The Terra fan club.
Tim and I sat here and thought we were recording.
We are Tara. I don't know, maybe. I don't know.
No.
We have to think of something.
Okay.
Whatever. But yeah, so I pressed the button, or so I thought, and I didn't.
Yeah.
So it was this great video of you and I cleaning up the studio.
So if you want to
Which
see us
I don't
cleaning-
think anybody wants to watch
No.
that. It's just lights off. Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Goodbye. Off we go. So anyway, that's not how you or I talk. So I don't know who that was. Whatever.
That was
But here we are
other
now. It
person
is
who
the
doesn't work here at
the
St. Jude
third
anymore.
the third the third Sunday of Advent, Gaudete Sunday, which
Rejoice.
Gaudete does mean rejoice. And it's actually, you know what's interesting is in the first reading and Bible study yesterday, before the second Snowmageddon of the year started, we had, in the first reading this Sunday, you'll hear how it says that, like, God rejoices over you, which we were talking about how that's interesting, how we always think, like, oh, we rejoice because God is with us, right? But on the flip side, God is also rejoicing. Like, God rejoices over us.
For his creation.
Exactly.
So, yeah,
like, he's like, it's just something that it was a nice conversation about, and it's a good reminder that, like, God is really, really into you. God really, like, yes, we always talk about how he cares and how he's, you know, he does all this sort of, but, like, God likes you, which is a really interesting thought. I don't think we talk about that enough. So anyway, something to pray with.
We were created to be with him. So,
yeah, it's like he wants you.
He wants
like,
the family.
It's like he's the God who would, like, text you and be like, hey, what you up to? Like, let's hang out.
Dude, can you imagine getting a text? I would love to get one from Mary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, amen.
I'm sure.
Speaking of Mary, it's the Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe today when we're filming this. So
yes.
Got Mary is my shirt, but on the back is my Guadalupe. So
my shirt is uninspiring. So we'll see. Thank you to Walmart.
So awesome.
Not a
there.
sponsor.
Yeah.
Yet.
Thank you, Mary.
Mary is, Our Lady of Guadalupe is great. My uncle, who is now a bishop, shout out to him. He was the pastor of Our Lady of Guadalupe parish in the Twin Cities for a long time. So many holidays were spent there, both American holidays and the Hispanic ones, like this one. You know, it's very much a day of celebration.
Yeah, we started this morning at 5:30 with Mañanitas, which I looked up to see what it is, and it's to sing. It's to sing, and a lot of it was songs.
That's awesome.
In honor of somebody, which would obviously be Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Our Lady of Guadalupe.
And then we shared a breakfast. So it was my first experience, and
100%.
thank you to the community at St. Stephen's that brought us that.
Yeah. No, it's been really cool, actually, because one of the blessings in disguise of the blizzard that we just had and the one we're having currently right now as we record this is a lot of the St. Stephen's stuff, the festivities, has been held here at the St. Jude Church. The partnered parishes coming together here in this, but it's been so neat to have the St. Stephen's community at St. Jude's. Like, we're learning so much about the Hispanic culture, but just growing in community. Like, I've met a ton of people that I hadn't gotten to meet. And
I met people that you knew for a while.
Yeah, my neighbors live across the street from me, are St. Stephen's, cornerstones of the community. So, anyway, it's been really cool. I'm just excited. I'm gonna selfishly say this. I kind of hope it keeps snowing. I like having them all around. There is so much fun. So anyway. Really excited about that. So happy feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe. If you don't know the story of Our Lady of Guadalupe, you can check out the children's bulletin.
Last week. It has the story in there last week of it.
St. Juan Diego.
Yeah, the week 2 has a whole entire story of Our Lady of Guadalupe. And it actually, the coloring page is St. Juan Diego, who is the saint who,
encountered the Virgin Mary on the road in Guadalupe. So yeah. And also, a cool fun fact that I remember learning when I was younger, because like I said, I spent a lot of time around Our Lady of Guadalupe. And so one of the neat things about the tilma, the thing that Our Lady of Guadalupe's image is appeared upon, is when you look at it, if you go down to the shrine, where it is on display, There's only a couple of times it's ever been like examined by like scientist people to see what's going on. And what's interesting is the image is actually not attached to the tilma. It's not like it was like an imprint. It's actually hovering just off of it. It's like a continuous apparition.
Wow.
It's really cool. And then the other thing that's even cooler, this is my favorite thing about it. If you zoom in on Mary's eye in the picture, no, it's Juan Diego.
Oh.
You can see him.
You can see her seeing him.
You can see her. It's so cool. Anyway, you can go look it up, Google it. It's just one of those cool things where you just kind of go, where you sit. It's one of those cool, I mean, it's a private revelation. It's not like this is like, like, like we just celebrated the Feast of the Immaculate Conception. If you're Catholic, you believe that. Whether you understand it or not, there it is. Our Lady of Guadalupe being a private revelation is not something that you have to believe in, but it's awesome. It's approved by the church. It really happened. It is a real thing. It's not a trick. It's been, and when the Catholic Church approves something like this, like a private revelation, like the scrutiny is insane. Right. Like it's gotta be real. Like they'll look at the 6 ways to Sunday before they'll be like, yep, that's approved.
I think we talked about it last week, but obviously it didn't get
recorded. It didn't get on there, yeah.
But if you can't make it to Mexico to see this, you can make it to right just down the street, basically over in Ohio. There's a huge statue of Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Yeah.
And
we'll have to go check that out sometime.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
We definitely should.
I've never been there.
Let's bring that up to everybody. Whoever wants to take that as a road trip, we'll
make that a thing.
We'll make it a trip from here. It's a
we've got a van.
day.
We've got a Suburban. We could do it.
Yeah, we can make it work.
Absolutely. All right. Well, anyway, maybe in the summertime when it's not blizzarding for the third Sunday of Advent. So here we are. So yeah. Let's see. What are we talking about
one of the big,
today?
really big things, if you're watching this before the weekend, awesome. This weekend we are collecting cookies too.
Ooh,
so,
yes.
Yeah, but so anyway, we can get into the fun, wonderful things here.
Yep, mass intentions, all the stuff.
All the stuff on the same first page.
It's usually there.
It is the last day of the Corvette raffle. We start the 12 days of Christmas tomorrow, even before Christmas.
So,
yes, but
yep, the 12 days leading up to Christmas.
12 days leading up to Christmas. Yeah.
We just had Mom's group the other night. Went well.
I guess
my wife got she was the one in charge of the food, and she had this huge like cheese charcuterie tree, or as my daughter likes to call it, charcuterie. So the charcuterie tree and hot chocolate bombs from I forget what her business is called. I'll plug it another time, but it's great. Anyway, but a big thing for this upcoming week, the 12, gentlemen, come on down. We're going to have we've been walking with St. Peter through the Gospels, and we're going to kind of pull a Chosen, I guess. Ooh. And we're going to kind of look, it's going to be interesting. We're going to kind of look at the Christmas story, but like, it's interesting is like Luke, when he wrote down all the stuff he wrote down, he obviously talked to Mary. How else would we know about this encounter with the angel? So, but we're going to kind of look at it from, there's a moment when Peter makes his profession of faith, which is very similar to some of the things that Mary said, Joseph said, and just kind of look at the comparison. So guys, come on out. It's going to be awesome. If you're 18 and older, gentlemen, you're welcome at the 12. We'd love to have you. And then, of course, we have Faith Formation one more time before the end of the year. And then this is a big one. This would normally be the week that we would have our Emmaus dessert drop-offs. They emailed me to let me know that they are not collecting desserts in December. So don't bring desserts.
Don't bring desserts, but if you just forget...
we'll eat them. If you want, let me rephrase that. Well, if you would like to bring desserts to the office for Christmas, we are happy.
Or we'll call the people that are collecting this weekend, and we'll see if there's anything. Anything else.
I mean, and of course, the city mission, different places are always accepting donations. So if you bring something, we will get it to the people that it's supposed to get to.
One of the things that we're going to plug in the next bulletin too is because we had to cancel that concert at St. Andrew last weekend. The charity that they were raising money for is Community of Caring. So to knock out homelessness. Yeah. So if you want to give to something, you can do that right through them. Community of Caring. I mean, if you want to go through us, that's fine. But just make a direct donation right to them.
And I mean, I think the thing that it's important for everyone to remember is that we all work together. We'll direct people to the, and people will direct some people to us.
Yeah.
Like we all are working together. This isn't a thing where it's like, oh, if I, which ministry should I support? I mean, pick one, obviously, but like we're all doing the same thing. We're all trying to, assist those who are in need, better the lives of those who need help, and yeah, revealing Jesus to everybody. So,
another big thing next week is the light is on for you. So this is done throughout the diocese. Churches just say, hey, yeah, we'll open our doors. And then we have priests that come and they hear your confession. So between the hours of 5 and 7, the light is on for you.
The light being the light on the confessional.
Yeah,
that's
we don't really
it.
have those.
We don't really have those.
Anymore.
So yeah, exactly. But
there's a light inside.
Someone asked me why is it called that? And I'm like, well, on the outside there used to be like you'd have the confessional where you'd have the priest sitting in the middle and then the 2 doors on the side, and the light when the light was on above it, that means that person was in confession. So don't walk in. So anyway, that's the whole thing. But yeah, come to that. Actually, I was just talking to someone today who was looking to go to confession. And they were telling me that they hadn't been to confession in 20, 30 years. And so they were really nervous. They were like, how do I even do that? Like, I can't, because he remembers being a kid and being like, number and kind. Like, and I'm like, dude, it's been 30 years. Like, if you can remember the exact amount of sins that you've, like, that's amazing, but you don't have to do that.
And not only that, like whenever you come in, no matter how long it's been, there's not one priest that I've ever gone to that won't just help you through it.
Absolutely.
Or just have a conversation with you. They don't look for the steps and the rules and all that other stuff. They look for that conversation and that healing, that
the mercy of God and all that good stuff. We have a lot of really great, we are really blessed in the city of Erie with some really fantastic priests who are confessors. So don't be afraid to come and go to confession. Just be free. That's what confession is about. You walk in with sin and you walk out without it. It really is gone. The Bible says as far as the east is from the west, that's how far the Lord puts our sins from us. So don't be afraid. And if you need any help or if you need any prayers or if you just want to talk about it beforehand, we're here for you. Both Father Luke and Father Ross are very, 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 very mercifully minded guys. Like they really are. So don't be afraid. And then did you already mention the cookie drive?
I did, but we can mention it for the 3rd time.
Yeah, let's do that for the 3rd time. I don't know. It's been one of those days.
We forgot to put it in last week's bulletin, so I announced it at all the masses.
Here
and
we
then
are again.
it's in here. So hopefully you hear about it and we can get some cookies out for the less fortunate.
Absolutely. And of course, again, it just seems to be a running theme, which makes sense. And I think we need to make a note to do this every year because I've gotten so few phone calls about when Christmas masses are, which is exciting. Last year I got them done. So we've got the Christmas schedule in there again. Just a reminder, though, as well, at the bottom underneath the Christmas schedule, there is that announcement about adoration, confession, and morning prayer on the 24th at St. Andrew's. It's going to be a really nice event. Again, mercy, getting ready to experience everything for Christmas. And then it's going on starts in like 4 days, Las Posadas.
But next Monday, yeah.
Yep. December 16th through the 23rd. I know 24th, excuse me. It says 23rd, but I think
it's technically the 24th, but
okay. We can adjust that.
That's okay.
But regardless, it's a cool do you know what it is?
Yeah, so actually a family takes a turn every night and they lead basically they lead the rosary.
Okay.
And then there's just sharing of food.
Love it.
Hispanic culture has a lot of food involved, but it's just fun. So you and it'll be over at St. Stephen's, pending any other snowmageddon that transfers this place because we can't get on the street. But so
wherever
a family,
it is, it's going to be beautiful.
A family takes a turn. They lead the rosary. So it's to represent what Mary and Joseph go to. So normally in the culture, they would go to different homes, and you would pray at that home and share a meal or share some type of food. So to represent Mary and Joseph not being able to find a place, an inn that was open for them to have this baby. So
that's awesome. Okay, so again,
my first experience of it. Tim likes to tell stories. I'll tell
you
mine.
Tell yours.
So actually, it's when I met your wife. Which was just your friend Katie at the time.
Yes, my good friend Katie.
Right, down in
she was. I was crushing on her so hard. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, who are you texting? It's Tim.
Sorry. Shout out to my wife. Love you still. Okay.
So we were in San Antonio, Texas, and at a youth ministers conference. And they actually opened the event actually with a shortened version of Las Posadas, and that was my first time being introduced to it, and I pretty much fell in love with the meaning of it. It was very beautiful. So
That's awesome. Well, anything where my wife is involved, it's usually pretty great. So just
well,
she's much. It's so funny. Like I always laugh because when people are like, "How did you end up at St. Jude's?" and I'll be like, "Well, Father Ross tried to get my wife to come and do what I do, but she already had a job, so he settled." It's so true, though. She's so great. Anyway, she's going to watch this and be like, what the heck, Tim? I'm sorry. Anyway, so getting ahead of the game a little bit. Usually we put this in the week before, but we're getting ahead just to try and get it in the mind of everyone. Now, obviously, there's a lot that is going to take place between now and January 3rd, right? So don't worry about it, but maybe just mark your calendars if it's something you might be interested in, especially after having just an amazing, magical Christmas with the love of God. Maybe you want to spend some time with him in the chapel with the Blessed Sacrament exposed. So Jesus, in the monstrance. And if you don't know what it means, monstrance just means like frame or like really nice, like presentation, so it's the best we have to do it. What are you going to put the host in? One of these. So that's up there. It's really beautiful, and you can spend some time for First Friday. It's all explained here in the bulletin, and if you have questions, you can give Carol or Barb a call, and they can answer all your questions.
And we do have it every First Friday. Unfortunately, with this past month, because of Snowmageddon, we just had a quick 1 hour adoration after the 8 a.m. Mass so that people didn't have to venture out in whatever crazy condition there would be.
But it's there.
Pending any weather conditions, we do have it every first Friday.
So you can kind of put that on your calendar as a reoccurring event every first Friday, adoration at St. Jude's. And then this is exciting.
I'm excited.
The Jubilee year with that Pope Francis is calling for us to participate in 2025. Bishop Persico wrote this little note in a newsletter that came out to all the parishes, all the parish offices. So we will be putting more out about that in the weeks and months to come throughout next year, obviously. But you can start to think about it and pray for it now.
Stay tuned. Father Ross will have more information on a pilgrimage of hope.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah. I like that.
I'm kind of excited, but stay tuned.
That's just going to leave it like that. You're just going to leave it hanging.
Nice little teaser, right?
Ooh, there it is. Okay.
Do not call the office. Just stay tuned.
We won't
It will
tell
be
you.
Announced.
Exactly, yeah.
Check Facebook at St. Jude Live Facebook page. Make sure that you signed up for Flock Note. We can send an email and or text. So, that's how we get a lot of information out really, really quick.
Yeah.
But anyway, so moving on to the Children's Bulletin.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah. So the candles are represented on both the regular bulletin and the Children's bulletins that the kids can color. The children's
you
one.
got a thumbs up. Good job.
Yay, coloring.
Represent children.
Children. But yeah, it says joy. I like it. I found these pictures that go like yours do with the candles.
I like the 3 alcoves.
Yeah. But it has like a city behind it, which is pretty neat.
I like that.
It kind of looks like Jerusalem in a way.
Yeah.
Then you open it. It's just more interesting facts on joy this week and coming to Jesus. Lots of stuff on Advent. That's right. Learn the word, the meaning of the word God that day. I think I said that all sorts of wrong, but being rejoice, things that bring us joy, pointing the way to Jesus, because we hear about John the Baptist this week, always pointing the way to Jesus to share that joy. And then I found a really fun thing. You always hear about Christmas around the world or something else around the world. I found Advent around the world.
Ooh.
What?
You're fantastic.
Yeah,
What is this? What is this Advent around the world?
I don't know. I didn't read it. So, but it looked really cool. So it goes through Europe, Middle East, China, Latin America, Australia, and the Philippines. So read with me and come and share, kids, or any other adults who read this, because I get told time and time again, the adults are like, "Ooh, I like."
We're gonna have to. Yeah, there is rumblings that. From the community that meets every week for Bible study, which, a lot of them are, they've been lifelong parishioners, many of them, and a lot of them have said that we might have to start like printing the children's bulletin for everybody. Like, all right. I mean, that's fine.
If you haven't checked it out, it's now is the season.
It's cool. It's a good thing.
And then we are because we're going to be celebrating Jesus' birth and like and announcing it and everything like that. How do you announce your birthday? When do you share your birthday and that kind of stuff? So it talks about a little child's birthday, and then St. Peter Canisius, whose feast day is next Saturday. It's a very empty week of saints coming up, which was very weird. But next Saturday there is a feast day. I shared a mom had shared a meatless Friday recipe, so it's a spinach and artichoke macaroni and cheese.
Just to get you ready for Lent in a couple of months.
Yeah, I mean, never a bad thing.
Just kidding.
The kids usually always receive an insert of the gospel stuff, so that's also in here. And on the back, you'll find always that I try to always put something in both English and Spanish. That way all of our kids can learn both languages.
Absolutely.
So it's called Help Us Prepare is the prayer. And then as always, a seek and find, because I hear like that's one of the most popular things in these bulletins too.
Yeah.
It's not just a coloring page, but somewhere they can find fun words on Advent.
Absolutely.
So anyway, any suggestions that you have out there in the world, for more fun stuff to keep putting into the Children's Bulletin, we'll do that. But the 8-pager is just for Advent until I find, until maybe, I don't know, Lent. I don't know. We'll do it again.
Who
we'll
knows?
See.
if we have stuff, we have stuff. It's the way it is. So, I think that's just about everything for this week. I'm excited for next time because it will be right before Christmas.
Yeah.
So that'll be exciting. But
we'll have
also
to film
the
it
Monday.
Early because normally
we will.
Yeah.
But the Monday before, I believe, Christmas
the
Eve
week
Tuesday,
after,
so Monday, so in like 2 weeks, right? Right before Christmas, is the saint that Saint John of Canty, which is the saint the church I went to growing up. It's like the most random saint ever. But I'm like, oh, it's Saint John is coming. So
I grew up at St. John the Baptist Church here in Erie. So I always loved whenever they tell the story of here's this weird guy that walks around in the wilderness and eats bugs.
Yes. So it was, oh gosh, was it, when was it? It was a couple of months ago. I was, or no, you know what it was? It was at Edge. It was at the Edge Faith Formation, and Life Teen had called for you to read part of, or no. You know what it was? I was subbing at the school. That's what this was. I was subbing at the school, and the religion teacher there had this lesson, assigned. And so the kids are reading from Leviticus, of all things. It's like, oh, sweet Moses.
We have Leviticus in the office.
Yeah, we do. Levi. Yeah. Anyway. But so we're reading this, and it was actually about what bugs you are allowed to eat and not eat. Oh. And according to the law of Moses, you cannot eat any bug that crawls on the ground unless it has a joint below, like it has 2 jointed legs. So like a praying mantis or a grasshopper or whatever. But that's the thing. I always wondered, why is it specifically John the Baptist ate grasshoppers?
And locusts.
That's what a locust is, a grasshopper. So anyway,
anyway,
I think they might be a little bit different, but I actually had the opportunity when I was in Italy as a kid to actually eat locusts and honey. And if you grill them, it's funny, not to quote Father Ross's favorite movie, but Lion King, slimy but satisfying. It's super good. And it actually kind of does taste like chicken. It's so weird. Anyway, watch Lion King if you want to. It's a great movie.
Timon and Pumbaa there, folks.
Here we go. Hakuna Matata.
Yeah.
Yes, no
worries.
Wonderful
thing.
But no worries with the snow. If you need anything, don't hesitate to call. Keep an eye on Flocknote, like we said. Keep an eye on all the updates. We'll be updating you if anything needs to change or if there's a scheduling thing that needs to happen because of the weather. This is a crazy winter, so if you haven't got on Flocknote, please do, so that we can communicate with you, and that way you can be safe and know what's going on. So with all that said, please subscribe if you haven't to our YouTube channel, to Facebook Live, or our Facebook page, St. Jude Live. Yeah, like and share.
All the good stuff.
All the good stuff. All right. We're praying for you.
See you next time.